Welcome to Massive Beers. My name's Matt. We do beer review stuff here. Do a lot of stuff here. But tonight we're doing the funnerest. I don't know. It's not. Mystery beers are the funnerest. But this is the second funnerest. Side-by-sides. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of side-by-side. Little treehouse jams. Courtesy of my boy Corey. He sent off a box of beers. I got them 2 days ago, actually. And I was opening it up. You can go watch the unboxing if you feel the need. And he sent me a bunch of treehouse. And, you know, I pulled one of these out. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a riff on King Julius. And then I was like, oh, King Julius. And I was like, another riff on King Julius. That calls for a side-by-side-by-side. Yeah. So what are we drinking? We're going to do King J. King Julius is an American Double IPA, 8.2%, as far as what Treehouse talks about on the back here. They say, King Julius is a landmark American Double IPA by Treehouse Brewing Company, brewed to be an exceptionally flavorful, juicy, and hop-saturated beer without rough edges or abrasiveness. Now, on my right, that would be your left, I believe, we have Island King. What they call this, or what they say about this, is Island King is a rendition of King Julius featuring a massive blend of mango and guava puree and hops from each in freeze-dried form. And heaps of each. Hops, not hops. Heaps of each in freeze-dried form. So yeah, you have basically a mango guava King J over here. As far as the old King Canopy, we have King Canopy as a rendition of King Julius featuring a blend of peach and mango puree, along with heaps of each in freeze-dried form. So, peach, mango, mango, guava. So, mango on both bases here. The old side-by-sides. Yeah, they're the funnest. They are the funnerest. Along with mystery beers. So thank you very much, Corey, for sending these off. I'm super excited to give these a whirl. I'm in the mood for a big double IPA. Well, technically I'm in the mood for 3. These, unless something weird, really weird happens, will not get drain poured. So this dude might get a little tipsy tonight. Considering the mystery beer I did before this. I was like, I'll do a mystery beer and then this. Yeah, that mystery beer ended up being a bourbon barrel-aged beer. So I'm in a whole heap of trouble. So take it for what it's worth. Let's keep that open so we can keep so I know what I'm doing here. So those two on each side. I mix up these so often. When I did I think I did like a 3 Julius versus 3 green variant kind of thing, and I think I just kept mixing them all up because I'm a dum-dum. And here we go. So again, Island Canopy base. What do we have coloration wise? You can't see because my new setup isn't as cool as my old one. Let's go with the base. That looks like beer. Yeah, got the old King Island, King Canopy on this side. Looks the same. Then we have the old Island King over on this side. I mean, knee-jerk reaction. This actually looks just a skosh lighter. Yeah, and I'm looking at the camera, same thing you guys are. So, yeah, but for all intents and purposes, they look very similar. The only thing I would call out here is a head difference. Whereas you can see these two almost look exactly the same. The one over here has dissipated a little bit more, and I poured them relatively similar. So that's the big difference so far. Let's get a huff on the old OG. King Julius is an OG. I don't know. Smells good. It just smells like a fantastic double IPA. Bursting at the seams. Just juiciness. A little touch of that bubblegum you typically get from Treehouse. I'm not a big, everything's bubblegum in Treehouse like everybody else is, but I can get it from time to time. Definitely getting it in here. And it's just this kind of melange of these sweeter, like they would say in a can, non-abrasive, kind of non-pithy, non-bittering. I know people's like, you can't smell bitter, dude. You can get the perception of it. Anyway, yeah, it smells just rich. Rich is the word I would use. Rich and dense. Citrus, heavy, but still with that nice tropical mango peachiness that you typically get from the hops in a beer like this. Let's go over to the old Island King. We're talking about that guava and mango over here. There is tropical fruit galore. as you kind of expect with that mixture, but it's such a stark difference from over here. The beer smells the same. It very much smells similar to what you'd expect from this. Like going from this to this, you're like, okay, very similar. Even when I first took a big huff, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get much difference on that. And then boom, followed that big tropical fruitiness that is, it's not gum. It's not bubblegummy. It's not like juicy fruity. It is more kind of like edible copper tone tropical suntan lotion. Fruit, like a tropical drink. You know, kind of like, you know, something along those lines. I feel like there's something here I'm not describing that would, like, nail the aromatics. Man, what is that? It just smells like tropical fruit juice. But almost Berliner-like. You know, when you get somebody who makes these really good kind of tropical fruit Berliners, it has that kind of tropical fruitiness to it. So maybe like a little acidity to it that comes with those fruits is added to this. Maybe, I don't know, but I love the smell. I love the smell in this. I love the smell in this. I'm really curious to see how these two kind of play back and forth. Let's dive in the old Canopy over here. So you're talking about the variant on this one, because I forget, is mango and peach. It's cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's really cool because there is a very stark difference between all three. They're not like hyper aggressive differences, but they're very marked, and you can tell base. You can tell that tropical fruit, and over here you're like, okay, you're getting that tropical fruity vibes, but there is that kind of peachiness. There is that kind of peach ringiness to it, a non overly sweet kind of peach ringiness to it that just separates itself and becomes something that is not these two. And you can probably see I'm getting a little bit giddy, getting a little bit excited. It's a hard thing to pull off. You know, saying what you do on a label and what you actually drink, more often than not, is a kind of a crapshoot with a lot of breweries. Like, they say this, not really getting close. This is like spot on. Spot on. Because you're getting that tropical fruitiness, but there is that big dollop of peachiness on here. And like I said, this comes up more peach ringy. For me, a little bit more candy, like confectionery peachy, but not in an overly aggressive kind of way. We gotta dive in. This is gonna be a like 40-minute video. So anyway, cheers on the base. That's pretty aggressive, actually. And you know, they talked about kind of stripping down this kind of aggressive kind of bitterness and harshness, abrasiveness. I think it's the word they use. It's there. There's a bittering to this beer. That's no mistake. But without bursting at the seams, that fruitiness is. It's definitely not the biggest thing in the book, that abrasiveness. So there is a bittering to be had. Big, rich, OJ, peachy, tropical fruit kind of across the board on it. I mean, the citrus is leading the way here. Grapefruit, pineapple kind of pushing up from there. There is a green kind of weedy beastery between beastery and nuggies kind of weed in here, but nothing, like, it's not over the top. It's definitely a secondary, a third player, but that fruitiness across the board, delicious. You can tell it's all hop derived. I don't know why I drank it like that. And just this sultry, silky mouthfeel. Yeah. Let's go over here. You got the mango guava, the old Island King. I'm just going to drink like that from now on. That's so cool, man. Again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate. This is like, hey, this is this beer, and they're like, hey, this is this beer, but with these things, and we haven't gotten here yet, but at this point, I'm assuming it's going to be much the same. You can tell you're drinking King J, but you can absolutely 100% tell you're drinking mango guava in that beer. It's not like a completely different beer. Mouthfeel might be just a skosh less, for kind of nitpicking. That bitterness, that abrasiveness that they said wasn't there, that I said kinda is there. A little bit less over here. So these all have to be the same day, right? 7/22. 705. 728. Okay, for some reason I thought they'd all be done at the same time, but they probably made this base and then went on here and here. So, you're just not getting that abrasiveness, that bittering over here, but you are getting just that nice kind of tropical fruity kind of extra dollop, that extra bit and piece over here, and it works really well. Yeah. Like I said, the mouthfeel maybe falls off a bit, but the whole beer as a whole comes off as a whole a little bit softer because you don't have that abrasiveness. Very good. Okay. Let's get that peach up in here. I don't know if I like that one. Spill a little bit of beer. Usually I'm like a little towel I can clean with, but a little something over here. Oh, mystery beer. Mystery beer leftovers. See? Just like an old warrior uses every part of his kill. Take that mystery beer wrapping, use it for something else. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of not feeling this one. There's like this medicinal thing about this one. Like a greenness. A green medicinaliness that is... It's almost like you want to kind of be like, okay, what about a peach can be medicinal? Because that's the variant we're dealing with here. It's not that. It's almost like it's the freshest of the bunch, so maybe it's just the greenness of the hops that were used that don't show on the other two. But, excuse me, there's this green medicinal thing that just really kind of kicks this from being something that I'm really thoroughly enjoying. And I'm blown away and surprised by it because loving it, and then this one I'm like, eh. Yeah. I mean, the peach. Maybe I'm allergic to it. I'm starting to cough. The peachiness comes off like peach ringy. That's not overly negative. It's just that medicinal thing. It has to be a hop presence. Or maybe something about the fruit they used. It's something quite different than this. Maybe skins were left on the peaches. I don't know, but there's something about it that just... It's not a negative beer. It's not like something I'm like, oh, this is pretty poopy. It's not as fantastical as these other two down here that just work so freaking well. Yeah, why did I change my setup? You can't even see these beers down here. I think that adds to it a little bit, but we'll see. Let's get in the old shed. We'll definitely reconvene. Make it perfecter. So yeah. I mean, this beer, the base, I've reviewed it before. Absolutely fantastic. I actually don't remember enjoying it this much. I know I've enjoyed it, but I don't know if I enjoyed it this much, so absolutely fantastic. The Island King, the mango guava, awesome, fantastical. This peach one just leaves me a little bit kind of just wanting. There's something about it that just is missing, and I want it to be better. And if that medicinal wasn't there, it'd be cool. But it's by far and away my least favorite of the bunch. But whether I like it or not, we gotta do it for science. Equal parts as much as we can. There we go. The old Beer Patrol Joe Super Cuvee of all three beers at the same time. I just sipped the foam, so I got a little bit of a hindsight on what's going on. So let's dive in. Cheers. No nose. Yeah, they're all bitter by themselves. I don't know if something gets lost or there's just too much amalgamation. But these two go down. This one probably just a little bit better, but these two definitely suffer the full from being mixed together. So don't do that with these beers. But listen, Corey, that was a fantastically fun side-by-side. I'm going to move these off camera because I want to put my arm down. Fantastically awesome side-by-side. And just a really fun kind of double IPA kind of journey. I haven't done like a Treehouse double IPA thing in quite some time, and do 3 of them side by side, and to have that kind of, okay, first one's great, second one's great, that third one kind of fall off the wayside. Just goes to show you, not all breweries are fallible. Not all people are fallible, because I'm me, and maybe my palate sucks. We don't know, but for all intent and purposes, I think the base is fantastic. It's just that King Canopy. That's the one, right? The light blue. I removed them already, so I'm already screwed up. That one, just the peachy one, just left me a little bit meh. So yeah, base fantastic. Mount Rushmore status on a base. Close, if not yes, on double IPAs. Fruited double IPAs. Island King. Yeah. Even Mount Rushmore. King Canopy. Not a bad beer. Worthy of being in conversation. Just not a bad beer. Just not up there. So there you go. Let's talk about it. Your experience with Treehouse. Have you been to Treehouse? Have you been to their 47 satellite locations as of late? Should I go to one of their 47 satellite locations? In the end of September, I'm going to be doing all the old Beer Palooza. It's not going to be here on my land. It's actually going to be up in Albany. And I'm trying to figure out, actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm not going. I was toying going to Treehouse, but I have a podcast interview on the way up, and now I have one on the way down. So now I can't. So scratch that. Belay that order. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek and Battlestar. Anyway, talk about Treehouse. Have you been to their locations? Which one do you like? You still digging them? What are you excited for? There's a bunch of other places opening. Let's talk about Treehouse. Let's talk about these beers. Have you had these? Have you had these specific dates? Have you had all 3 side by side? What are your thoughts down there? Let's talk about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. We'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.